This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by Domain.com. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the episode of Rettinger's Riffs, the show where I just talk and rant and rave about whatever's going on. So I've been getting a lot of questions about the Apple Watch. A lot of people want to know which ones they should get, if they should even bother, is it too expensive, are there any killer features, and kind of everything in between. I had the privilege of going to the Apple event and trying on all different models of the Apple Watch, including the $10,000 to $17,000 Apple Watch edition. So I thought I'd shed some light on which one I think I'm going to get personally, which ones are going to get into review, what the straps felt like, all things that might help you decide if you want to get one, which one you should get, or if you should skip it completely altogether. The big caveat here, we ran a story this week saying Apple Watch 2.0 is coming relatively soon. If you look back to the original iPad launch, Apple just kind of wanted to get it out to gauge the market. Then the iPad 2 came, and it was a very quick turnaround between 1 and 2, and they thinned it down and added a lot of cool features. I expect the same to happen with the Apple Watch. So having said that, here are my general thoughts and impressions. I spent a lot of time with the Apple Watch Sport, the less expensive model in the 42mm size. The 38 looked fine. It looked a little bit small on my wrist. I don't have sort of giant wrists, to say the least, but it looked a little bit on the small side, so I'm using all the 42mm as the baseline for prices. But if you're someone that wants a 38, you can subtract $50 to $100, depending on what model. It's everything I am going to say. So first, the model that I think seems to be the sweet spot is the Apple Watch Sport in space gray. The black band and sort of the black case of the watch looked really nice and really sleek. In fact, it looked very similar to the black version of the regular Apple Watch that costs about $250 more. You're still looking about a $400-ish entry-level price, which is very, very expensive. But from a look standpoint, it looked almost identical to the watch that was significantly more expensive. The rubber band was nice. It was kind of a pain to have to do, though, with one hand, so bear that in mind. The Sport is aluminum, the Apple Watch stainless steel. I noticed no difference in how they felt. They look a little bit different, but there was very little to worry about in terms of weight, or also, how the watch just looks generally. And I say all this while I'm wearing a Moto 360, just for a fun reference in case you're wondering what's on my wrist. So I think the Space Gray Sport is going to be a really good sweet spot. If I was to look at all the models and find the one that seemed right for me, taking price out, there's a really sweet looking Apple Watch one with a black aluminum band that comes in at a whopping $1,100. And I can't justify an $1,100 price point for a watch that chances are is going to get upgraded within about 10 months. Let me stop real fast and thank our peeps at Domain.com. It's the place to go when the next great idea hits you, like in the middle of the night. It's one-stop shopping for all your domain name and web hosting email needs. Domain.com wants to hook you up with a pretty sick offer. Save 20% on domain names and web hosting when you use coupon code TechnoBuffalo. It's all one word in caps at Domain.com's checkout. When you think domains, think Domain.com. And then you talk about the Apple Watch, the edition stuff, things that cost $10,000, $17,000. This is where it's going to go from more rants from riffs. I get spending a lot of money on a fancy watch. A Rolex, an Audemars Piguet, whatever maker you want to do, for a few reasons. First, those very rarely are hugely depreciating assets. Obviously, they do depreciate mostly, but you can sell a 10-year-old Rolex for a very close price point to what you bought it for. Imagine your Apple Watch edition you buy in gold for, I don't know, just say $13,000. An Apple Watch Edition 2 comes out. What price point do you think your watch is going to be at? And if you start telling me the price of gold, there ain't much gold on that watch that's going to affect that price very much. You're looking at maybe at best a 50% depreciation. It seems so silly to me. When you buy an expensive watch, a lot of times you want to make a statement. You want to say, listen, I've made it, I'm successful, something good just happened in my life, this is the watch that I want to show. But if you're spending that money on an Apple Watch Edition, you're sending an entirely different message from what you might send if you had a fancier, more traditional, let's say, Swiss-made watch. And I'm not sure that's the message you want to be sending to people. That's just my 2 cents, but maybe you're going to disagree. It is in no way an investment, and it just says maybe I got a lot of money, look at my new toy, which maybe that's what you want to say. Now, having said all of that kind of stuff, why I think the Apple Watch Sport is probably the best one, at least for me. If I'm going out to a nice dinner, if I'm going out with my wife on a date, which we very rarely get to do anymore with the baby at home, I don't really want to take a smartwatch with me. I don't want it buzzing, I don't want it glowing. I'll put on a normal traditional watch. So that sort of negates the need for a fancier watch that you'd get in the regular Apple Watch, or certainly with the way expensive edition. So if you're watching this video debating on whether or not to get an Apple Watch, you think maybe you're on the edge, Apple Watch Sport is a really good way to go. The space gray, it's kind of understated, it looks all black. It's hard to tell if it's even the Sport or it's the Edition. You're gonna have a hard time switching bands, just as a friendly heads up there. But I think that seems to be really a good entry-level sweet spot, if you want to call that price point entry-level at all. I just kind of want to share my thoughts on it. A lot of people have been asking what I think about the Apple Watch, if it's worth getting, if it's not worth getting. That's going to be up to you. We still haven't seen really any killer feature, but what it does very well. The UI is very smooth. It works well as expected. Everything about it does as advertised. It just doesn't do all that much yet. The thought, though, is that developers will take advantage of it, and it's going to start to do much more. The same story we've heard with the iPhone and the iPad, and certainly developers have taken crazy advantage of those. So perhaps we'll see the same thing happen with the Apple Watch. Anyway, guys, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts on the Apple Watch. Please sound off on it down below. Give the video a thumbs up. We always appreciate it. If you want to check out more Techno Buffalo videos, and I hope you do, hit the big subscribe button. We get new videos coming at you seemingly every day. Until next time, I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Check you guys in the next one.